Good evening. I'm Jordan Early, and tonight we are joined with Lawrence County's County Commissioner, Dan Vogler. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, I really wanted to talk about Valley View Downs. An article came out on March 8th saying that the company that's developing Valley View Downs, Harness Racetrack and Casino, Centaur, is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Can you bring us up to date on the Valley View Downs project since that article?
Certainly, and thank you again for having me. The company that hopes to locate here in Lawrence County currently has in its possession a harness track racing license. It's the fourth and final license that can be given to a company. What they're in the process of doing now is they're attempting to secure the gaming license that will go hand in hand with the harness license that will allow them to construct both the racetrack and the casino. They have casinos in other states, particularly Indiana and Colorado. The economy has been rough on them like it's been on just about everyone else, and consequently they have recently, as you mentioned, gone into a filing of Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They have shared with myself and my fellow commissioners that it's their intent that this be as brief a period in bankruptcy as they possibly can get it to be. Their hope is to emerge from bankruptcy as a much stronger company. They're equating it with how General Motors went into a brief period of bankruptcy and came out with restructured debt that enabled them again to be a stronger company, and that's the hope that Centaur has in this case.
Now, for our viewers, can you explain what Chapter 11 bankruptcy is?
Well, it essentially allows them to reorganize and restructure their debt. It's not a liquidation of their assets, which my understanding is Chapter 7. By the way, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not a banker.
Just a county commissioner.
Just a lowly county commissioner. But it does permit them to, again, restructure their debt, to reorganize themselves as a company, and hopefully emerge in a stronger position that will attract new investors and new lenders to their project.
Is this going to affect the number of jobs and tourists the site was going to bring to this area?
Well, we're still very optimistic that this project's going to come to fruition.
Right.
And we're hopeful that if and when it does, that their projections of 1,000 construction jobs and then at least that many full and part-time jobs once they're up and running will in fact take place. If that occurs, they will become the second largest employer in Lawrence County. That's a very significant economic impact. And now that you have table games as part of the mix, now that the state legislature has allowed casinos to expand and have table games at their facilities, that will more than likely mean even more employees at their facilities. So they will become a very big player as far as Lawrence County's economy is concerned.
Now, you're very optimistic that it's going to happen, but if it doesn't, in the end, what investment has gone into this by the Lawrence County Council?
Well, the county commissioners actually have made no financial investment in the project or in the area of the project. Now, the Mahoning Township supervisors, the facility would be located in Mahoning Township. They are in the process of expanding their sanitary sewer system. Now, that's not only to accommodate this project, but it's also to accommodate some residential areas in their community. They have made an investment so far. But in terms of infrastructure around the site, there has been very little other than what Mahoning Township plans to do. The county has made none.
Okay, and in the article that I read, I feel like it's a circle. There's a big talk about the slot machine license. The Pennsylvania Gaming Control says they don't want to issue the license until Centaur gets out of debt or out of bankruptcy, but Centaur says they can't get out of bankruptcy unless that license is granted to them.
Well, I think the key to all of this is Centaur's ability to attract and secure lenders and or investors, or a combination of both. If that occurs and they emerge from bankruptcy and have the ability to secure the financing, then they can go back to the Gaming Control Board and say, okay, we're ready to move forward. We have the money necessary to construct and operate our facility. As long as they hold the harness license that they have, no one else can come in and do, for lack of a better term, an end run around Centaur, because there's only one harness license left. They have it, and as long as they have it, they are the only company that can apply for this gaming license. So I think, again, the bottom line is their ability to secure lenders or investors or both, which will help them emerge from bankruptcy, and then they can go before the Gaming Control Board and hopefully secure that license.
Is there anything, oh, let's get on to good news, not so negative, but what good news has come from this whole situation?
Well, I think it's brought the community together in terms of our support. It's curious because in other parts of the state where some casinos have tried to locate, specifically in Philadelphia, there has been a lot of community opposition to certain casinos. That's not been the case in Lawrence County. The support is widespread. I think the community desperately realizes the need for this project, and it's brought a lot of people together. And again, if it is successful, if they get the financing, if they get the license, and they begin the construction, I think the economic impact is going to be significant.
That's great. Is there anything that I didn't cover that you wanted to add?
No, the one little ancillary item that we're real happy about, because it's going to have an indirect tie into the casino, is the fact that the Federal Highway Administration recently changed the designation of State Route 60 in Lawrence County to Interstate 376. That's going to help us from an economic enhancement standpoint, the fact that we will now have an interstate going right through the heart of Lawrence County, and that interstate will lead people to this casino ultimately. So we're very happy about that.
That's great. Well, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. More County Line is on the way.